I feel that it's a shame that despite all the amazing titles now under the video game umbrella, whatever you want to consider that, people still seem to push the genre to the side. They think film and music and all these other things are just simply better art forms, or that games are still arcadey and cheesy, when in reality they've taken huge strides since someone like me was a child, and have become, in my opinion, one of the most immersive forms of media possible. This video isn't for people that have played games before, but it's for people who are considering it. Gaming booms get discussed a lot all the time within the community and the industry. 2007 was a great one when games like Halo 3, Gears of War, and Half-Life 2 were all super prominent. The Orange Box had just come out, giving you one of the best deals ever between Portal, TF2, and Half-Life 2. Halo was dominating the space, and Modern Warfare was right around the corner. It was an insane time to be alive, to see games make these huge strides in the first-person shooter genre, and then amazing RPG games follow a few years later, like Skyrim. We're kind of in one of those moments now. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is tomorrow, or tonight now, I guess, considering when I'm recording this, so sorry to date the video. But we also had Elden Ring just 2 years ago, and from last year we had incredible games, Alan Wake 2, Tears of the Kingdom. It's never been a better time to jump in. So, today, I'll be listing a few games that I think you should check out if you've never played a video game before. I'll list them in a few genres for people who are maybe more competitive, want something more relaxed, or are just interested in something artistic, or maybe even something a little spooky. So, without further ado, allow me to drop a few recommendations for somebody who's new and interested in getting into games. A word to the wise as well, when I make this list, I'm kind of going to suggest games that are a little older, or maybe some are a little more recent, but I'm going to try and pick things that maybe wouldn't be at full standard price right now. That's mostly because gaming can be an expensive hobby for some people. It's tough to find $70 in today's economy to buy a brand new AAA game. So I think recommending stuff that would be affordable and a good entry point is absolutely what I should be doing here. But if what I say doesn't fit your fancy, or you do want to try something new, please feel free to look at great resources like, I know people criticize them a lot, but for someone new, IGN is a great resource, and there's a Twitter page, which I forget the name of off the top of my head, but I'll put a screenshot right here, that tells you when games are on sale. So check out both of those places to look at new titles, or to find out when things are on sale.
I think we can put our differences behind us. For science, you monster.
My first recommendation is what's probably one of my top 3 games ever, and I think it's a really great all-around, quote-unquote, pick, which would be Portal 2. Portal 2 is funny, well-written, dramatic, and also super interesting. It's a very simple game, doesn't require too much reaction speed, but has great puzzles that feel invigorating. You feel very satisfied when you solve a portal puzzle, and you get a nice little joke from GLaDOS that's very condescending, but gives you a nice laugh. It's an easily repeatable game that you can break down into small sessions or grind right through if that's what you want. It's easy to jump into, easy to love, and easy to get lost in. So much of its aesthetic is beautiful to me, and I think to the average person, it still looks amazing compared to AAA titles today, and it's so much more affordable. Portal 2 is one of those games that you can come back to over and over again, even if you know the answers to the puzzles. I guess Portals counts too. And just love it. So I definitely recommend this as I don't really know what kind of genres I like, or I'm not really sure what I would enjoy. Just check this out. It's a really great jumping off point, in my opinion. And it's on, as far as I understand now, every single console possible. So there shouldn't be any limitation to whatever console you go to choose. If you're someone who's into quirky, offbeat humor, and wants a game that you can laugh at just as much as you can jump into and enjoy its artistic, unique style of presentation, then Undertale is the game for you. It's sort of boosted if you have an understanding of how games function or what a video game is, but I also think it's a great entry point in the sense that it can make you question what games can be and can really open your mind to what a lot of modern day titles are doing. Undertale looks very simple, but there's a lot of layers of incredible design below it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have probably heard of it, and are maybe afraid to check it out because of the fan base, but trust me, just take a jump and check it out. The game is really fun, easy to get into, and is a really great time if you're just looking for something sort of quirky or offbeat, or something that maybe you've never experienced before. If you're a fan of films like Coraline, or A Nightmare Before Christmas, that are very odd and strange, yet kind of wholesome and funny, I think this is a good game for you. You would really like it. I think things like online series like Homestuck are also a great example of if you've ever been interested in something like that, you would definitely like Undertale. Gris is a great example of the new movement going through games, which is to consider certain video games as pure artwork. Gris is stunning from start to finish. If you're the artistic type, and you want something visually stunning and also thought-provoking, it's definitely an easy recommendation. Gris is one of those games that sticks with you, kind of like a good movie or looking at a tragically beautiful painting. It makes you think about your own life and makes you understand your own personal loves and griefs and pain that you've gone through. It's a beautiful sentiment and an utterly stunning experience. Its controls are simple, and yet so much of it feels fluid, in-depth, and intuitive. I love everything about this game. I really think it's underrated, and especially in terms of indie games or smaller titles that people haven't heard of, I really wish Gris had gotten more attention over the years compared to some of its contemporaries. It's utterly beautiful. I love that game, and if you're the artistic type who enjoys either really abstract animated films, like some stuff by Studio Ghibli, or some more ambient, out there storytelling, Gris is definitely a game I can highly, highly recommend.
An epic adventure beyond imagination, revered by critics and beloved by fans. Now experience this mythical story of conflict, betrayal, and triumph like never before.
I had mentioned Final Fantasy VII Rebirth earlier in this video, but we're going 100% old school in this one. I definitely think if you're a book lover or someone who loves deep lore and stories that are really immersive, Final Fantasy VII still holds up to this day, despite being almost 30 years old. It's one of those games that just keeps on giving the more you give to it. I just love every second of it. The music, the storytelling, it's utterly phenomenal, and there's easily an argument to be made that it's one of the best games ever. I would highly recommend you check it out, and then if you enjoy it, Final Fantasy is a long-running franchise, and you can just jump into any of the other 16 games they have, or any of the spin-offs of just Final Fantasy VII alone. I think it's a great entry point for someone who's looking for something long-form, and also rich with content. It's an easy jumping in point, and considering it's on, as far as I understand, almost every platform, and at an affordable price, it's super hard to want to pass that up. Definitely a strong recommendation from me. Don't worry, horror fans, if you're watching this thinking, there hasn't been anything scary, I've got a game just for you. Aomori is one of those psychological games that just kind of messes with your head. There's no other way to put it. And yet, it's so beautiful and has such a strong message to it at the same time. I utterly loved this game, and I'm personally very inspired by it. There's so much about it that I find unique and interesting. It's so beautiful, cutesy, kind of offbeat, and yet it can be so horrifying and so dark at the same time. You can go from bubblegum forests to infinite staircases being chased by demons, and all of it having a core of learning to love yourself and learning to find love around you. It's just a stunning experience, and I really hold back to discuss even anything about it, just because you should really just jump in. It's one of those games that is best experienced blind, and as assuming that everybody here is new and hasn't really checked games out, it's absolutely a phenomenal jumping point if you like horror media. I definitely recommend Aomori, and I definitely think it's worth checking out, or if you're interested in trying scary games for the first time, it is a fantastic first jump into that genre and foray. Absolutely recommend it. Big thumbs up. So, that wraps up my recommendations for games for people who are new or interested in jumping into the genre. Now, I know I haven't mentioned a lot of huge new games that are out there, as I had said, but I think these are all great titles to have you check out and enjoy if you want to try out new things out there. It would be pretty cruel of me to recommend you something like Elden Ring as your first game ever, although I guess I could technically, but it's really a tough jumping in point. But I think that these games can mold an understanding of what you like, or see how something you like can be imagined within this medium, and draw you down a path to experience new things. I really hope that you guys can learn to love games the way I do, and really learn that there's so many amazing creators out there doing incredible artistic expressions in this new medium, and I really look forward to seeing a lot of incredible things in the future from AAA and independent studios. So, is there something I missed? In the comments below, please leave other games for people to check out. I want this video to kind of be like an archive for people to come back to who are interested in trying new things. I definitely think it's a great place for that. So please leave recommendations below, tell me things I missed, or tell me why I'm wrong. I'm completely open to criticism. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.